When it comes to conflict in teams, whether co-located or distributed, one thing is painfully obvious. The vast majority of teams and organizations do not manage conflict well. And it's really not hard to understand why this is the case. Managing conflict effectively is like trying to walk a tightrope and maintain the delicate balance between ignoring or avoiding conflict versus overblowing it and having it turn into angry arguments. It's all too easy to slip out of balance and fall to one side or the other. Finding this balance is challenging in any team situation, and it can be even more challenging for virtual teams. When it comes to how we handle conflict as a team, our team culture is typically a reflection of our individual responses to conflict. Many of us as individuals tend to be conflict avoidant. We want to prevent it from happening or avoid it if it is happening, or resolve it and smooth things over as quickly as possible after it happens. Alternatively, some of us might be conflict seeking, unable to overlook a small slight or a disagreement, seemingly always ready for a good argument, or just debating for debate's sake without any real intent to reach understanding and resolve an issue. I grew up in a conflict avoidant environment. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything was a common phrase in our household. Or if things got heated, it was just talk about the weather. Then I met my father-in-law. He was a prominent politician and a gifted orator with a passion for debate. Before I met him, I was warned, when he asks you what your opinion is about anything, you better have a response. He doesn't care what your opinion is, he just cares that you have one. He just loved to have a good, hard-fought debate. It wasn't conflict in his mind, although it might have felt like it to others. What in my family would have been seen as a knockdown, drag-out argument was what he considered a lively dinner table conversation. So let's set out a clear objective, starting by eliminating what is not the objective. The point is not to prevent conflict from happening. That's impossible if human beings are involved. And in fact, it prevents teams from reaching their full potential. The point is also not to avoid conflict, to pretend it's not happening or give in and abdicate our interests just to keep the peace. And finally, the point is not to go to the opposite extreme and enjoy a good argument, or to get aggressive, or to win the debate by outwitting your adversary. Your colleagues on your team are hopefully not your adversaries. The objective is this: to accept the reality that conflict in teams is a natural part of human relationships and an important part of team development. To that end, there are 3 objectives we're going to focus on in this course. First, we'll look at several valuable models that can help us see conflict as a necessary and valuable part of working as a team. Second, we'll share some strategies and tactics to help your team develop and sustain a culture of healthy conflict. And third, we'll give you some guidelines and tips as to how you can help facilitate healthy conflict within your team, regardless of your title or position. This all starts with an examination of how you as an individual view and respond to conflict. This all starts with an examination of how you as an individual view and respond to conflict. On page 3 in the workbook, consider what experiences you've had with conflict as part of a team. Have you ever been part of a team that did not manage conflict well? And have you ever been part of a team that did manage conflict well? What can you learn from these experiences? Individually and as a team, we need to reframe our view of conflict from something to be avoided or enjoyed, and to see it as something useful. That if it's well managed, conflict becomes potentially constructive and productive.